Yes. You seen the title, so you must know what we're covering today. Part 3 to one of the most dangerous tournaments you could think of when talking about anime. The Tournament of Power. So for those of y'all who saw the last 2 parts, you're already up to speed, so you're good. But let me do a quick recap for the new folks. And after watching what transpired last episode, I think we all could use a recap, so let's get into it. So last episode, we learned that Goku and his team had entered into a tournament in which they'd be fighting for their universe's survival. And in this tournament, you got people walking through time, defying gravity, and it got so crazy even the Lorax got tired of the trees. And we can't forget the amount of disrespect this man Goku was dishing out left and right. And of course, remember I can't go over every single fight that happened in this tournament, but we're definitely gonna go over some highlights. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So after watching Jiren shit on Hit and Goku packing up Kefla, it was only a matter of time before both Universe 7 and 11 were the only ones left. And since Goku was able to recover, you already know he had to run it back with Jiren. So Goku wasted no time and went straight to Blue, and as he was charging, started yelling in Jiren's face. But as you can see, this man Jiren was not worried and charged a bit himself, causing a massive explosion. And me being the viewer, I was hyped that Goku was back, but my thought process was that if Ultra Instinct wasn't enough, what the hell is Blue finna do? So Goku creates more space to plan an attack, but out of nowhere, this man Vegeta pulled up and started charging at Jiren. And Goku said, "Wait nigga, you're not the MC." But Vegeta was not trying to hear it. Bro started throwing punches, but they weren't even breaking the energy barrier. And after a while, Jiren got pissed and hit this nigga with a 2-piece combo. But right as he was about to follow up, Goku came, kicked the shit out of him, and when he charged him, threw a barrage of punches and knocked him back. And although he had time to recover, Jiren pulled right back up, clashed with Goku, and backhanded the shit out of Vegeta. And as stated before, being a Dragon Ball fan, we all know Vegeta likes to run his ISO, so if he starts hopping in to try and jump, you know shit's getting out of control. But Vegeta pulled right back up, only for Jiren to turn him into a human Beyblade. And although he was able to recover, he did not realize that that sequence right there turned him into one of the biggest memes of 2018. And so after pulling up for the 3rd time, Vegeta was finally able to land a kick on Jiren. And although getting knocked back, started doing gymnastics and charged the Gallic gun. But that shit did not work and only led to Jiren comboing the life out of this man Vegeta. And you already know he had to follow up with a key blast, which of course caused a massive explosion. And I'm not gonna lie, although Vegeta got shit on, you have to give the man some type of respect because he was able to hold his own a bit. So the smoke clears, and although he's still standing, it's pretty obvious that this man Vegeta's in bad shape. And Goku said, "Nigga, I told you he wasn't no MC." And it cuts to Jiren, and this man's just standing there like nothing happened. So Vegeta said, "I'm not gonna lie, you strong as shit, and I've never faced anybody like you." And my only problem with this scene is how are you gonna have one of the cockiest niggas in the show, Vegeta, lose and then start glazing afterwards? Like if I beat somebody in a heated one-on-one and they talking about some good game, I am not saying that shit back. Get your get back. Stop glazing. We are not on some Nick 830 time, and we're here to compete. And Jiren's just like me for real, because he told Vegeta, "You are not him and your hairline's still fucked up." And this is exactly what Vegeta needed because bro got pissed and started charging his final attack. And from the looks of it, this shit was gonna do some damage. Even Goku was surprised, and when they cut to Universe 11, they were stressing. But as you can see, this man Jiren was still posted unfazed. And so after a year's worth of charging, Vegeta shot his final flash at Jiren and it made a direct hit. And as the blast comes off the stage, you just see everybody watching to see if Jiren actually got cooked by that shit. And me being the viewer, I was on the edge of my seat because although we know Jiren's overpowered, Vegeta looked like he put some heat on that blast. And so the smoke finally clears and Vegeta sees what looks to be a defeated Jiren on the ground. And he started dying, but once he came to his senses and realized that Jiren wasn't on the ground, he looked down only for Jiren to be right there with a blast aimed at his chest. And Jiren whispered, "Get that weak shit out of here," and blasted the shit out of Vegeta. Literally trapped this man in a portable sun. And this scene alone lets you know that karma was real because he had Vegeta posted like how he did Yamcha back in the Saiyan saga. And the anime's been out for 30 plus years, so Vegeta fans have to realize that he's not getting shit done without Goku. And so a few minutes later, Vegeta had came to his senses and was ready to fight Jiren with Goku. And so the two began to power up, and while charging, Goku was able to reactivate his Kaio Cannon. On the other hand, Vegeta was able to shatter his limits and unlock a new form. And after not knowing how long this was gonna last, they were ready for all types of smoke. And my first time watching this, I was hyped because it's not every day you get to see Goku and Vegeta jump a nigga like this. And so the two charged Jiren, and it looked evenly matched until they got knocked back, but they pulled right back up and punched the nigga through a mountain. But they were not trying to let this man breathe and follows right back up on that combo where pressing Jiren so much he had to use his real fist and punch them away. And while falling back, Vegeta shot a key blast at Jiren, but Jiren said, "Get that weak shit out of here," and blocked it. And I'm sure by now it's no surprise that bro stood right back up like nothing happened. So the two pulled right back up and Jiren's out here trying to no-scope, but Vegeta weaved in, was able to land a hit. And while he was distracted, Goku pulled up and they sandwiched this nigga, sending him flying. And real quick, for those of y'all who don't watch Dragon Ball, the reason why this jumping was so effective effective was because these two do not fight with each other at all, so they're never in sync. And Jiren couldn't get a clean read because he doesn't know what's finna hit next. And so after finding an opening, Goku charged the Kame and Vegeta charged the final flash and shot that shit right at him. But by now, I'm sure y'all understand the cycle and realize that Jiren was not going and was ready for round 2. And so while these three were fighting, Frieza and 17 were over here dealing with that man Toppo. And if you saw Tournament of Menaces 2, you'd understand that this nigga Frieza had pissed bro off to no extent. So after being tired of getting jumped by both Goku and Vegeta, Jiren signaled over to Toppo to take one off him so he could run his ISO for a little bit. Which actually brings us to our next fight on the list, Vegeta versus Toppo. So Toppo and Vegeta square up and Toppo said, you know Vegeta, if I win the Super Dragon Balls, I can get you that barber. And Vegeta said, I'm not gonna lie, that's a good deal, but I can't trust the Lorax on steroids. At this point, we have to label Vegeta as the CEO of talking shit because he be violated. And this pissed Toppo off. Bro pulled up, kicked this nigga and followed up with a key blast. But hold up, he wasn't done. Bro teleported above him and finished the combo. So Vegeta tried to create space, but Toppo pulled back up, and although he was able to get a hit in, bro kicked the shit out of him. And as Vegeta fell back, bro said, hold on, he made me like that. And my first time watching this, I was low-key nervous for Vegeta because this nigga Toppo went from Red Crocs to Black Forces in a matter of seconds. So it cuts to Toppo shooting Ki Blast at Vegeta, and although he was holding his own, he got sent flying. And as you can see, Vegeta flew through damn near 4 mountains before he was finally able to stop. So as Vegeta was down, Toppo charged up a big ass Ki Blast and shot at him in hopes of knocking him out the ring. But right as it was about to connect, Vegeta had a surge of energy and said, I'm not finna go out like this, and completely canceled the blast. And he used this opportunity to rush Toppo and punch the shit out of him, sending him flying. But hold up, he wasn't done. Bro followed up with the Ki Blast spam, although he couldn't even see him. And as a Dragon Ball fan, you already know Vegeta's stocks were up within the community because it's not often that bro gets to cook like this. So the smoke cleared and Vegeta pulled up, comboing the life out of this man Toppo, not giving him any room to breathe and finishing the combo by kicking the absolute shit out of him. And keep in mind, Vegeta was doing this to someone who had just become a god of destruction. So Toppo got up and charged the ball of destruction, only for Vegeta to break through and say, get that weak shit out of here, and punch the goofy out of him. And after that, Toppo was completely out of options, and you just see this man try to spam his way to victory. And so after landing the last kick, Vegeta told Toppo that he'll hit him with a blast he can't destroy and started charging. And with both fighters being at their limit, it was no surprise that this was about to be the final attack. So as Vegeta was charging, a yellow ball of energy had started to form around him. And at that moment, Piccolo had PTSD from when Vegeta offed himself while fighting Majin Buu. But Toppo, seeing this, got up and said, I'm not finna go out like this, and charged up a big ass ball of destruction and shot it at him, and they both flashed. And for a split second, his energy was consuming Vegeta, and it was not looking good on his part. But Vegeta said, I'm not losing to this Lorax off wish, and charged up one final time to overpower him. And as you can see, his energy was at an all-time high and managed to blow up half the stadium, which led to Toppo getting knocked out and Vegeta catching an important dub. So now we've made it to our final stages of this tournament, and Goku had already defeated Jiren. And although Goku lost his power-up, all of Jiren's will was broken, so bro was just waiting to get knocked out of the arena. So somebody please tell me, out of 17 and Frieza, why would you let this nigga Frieza go up to Jiren and get the final blow? Because bro talked so much shit it gave Jiren a power-up, and now he was ready for round 3. And so Jiren formed what looked like a wall of energy and shot it at both 17 and Frieza. And because the two weren't ready for it, it took Frieza out of gold, and 17 was about to get cooked. And this had all of Universe 7 stressing because Jiren had just pulled this power-up out of nowhere and he was trying to end it. But right as the barrier was about to break, Goku pulled up and was ready to save the day yet again. And 17 said, nigga, how are you still standing? But Goku said, nigga, I'm the MC, don't worry about that, just give me a hand. And I'm not gonna lie, Goku had a valid excuse, because if that wasn't the case, both Kid Buu and Broly would have been running shit by now. And together they were able to cancel Jiren's wall of energy, and look at Jiren, he already knows what time it is. So Goku and Frieza charged at Jiren, and once they clashed, started throwing hands. And for the most part, it was looking even until Jiren hit Goku, but Frieza got his get back. And right as Jiren was about to follow up, 17 came in clutch and shot a Ki Blast at him, sending him flying. And 17 wasn't done, he shot 3 more and gave Goku and Frieza more time to get to him. And after getting lit up by all 3 Ki Blasts, Goku and Frieza had made it and kicked the shit out of him. And me being the viewer, I was shocked because Goku and Frieza actually made a good team. But I low-key felt bad for Vegeta because bro had to watch his rival and one of his biggest ops work together in order to win. And so Jiren had pieced both Goku and Frieza up and proceeded to go after 17. But in order to recover, Goku had set Frieza up and launched him straight at Jiren. And at this point, it was obvious that Frieza was trying to take Jiren down with him. But before Jiren could escape, Goku made sure to pull up and tackle him as well, which resulted in Jiren being overpowered and Goku and Frieza clutching the tournament.